Oh, Fart Central. Welcome to my laboratory, folks. Today's project is framing a staghorn fern. So I got this big one right here, you see her? And I got a piece of wood, like so. And I'm going to take a piece of her and I'm going to frame her on this piece of wood. I want to hang it because I love things that grow from the bottom. I love things that hang up in here, and I love things that are on the wall. And just like a house, when you have pictures hanging on the wall, it makes it just a little bit juicier. So, my first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna yank a piece out of this perfectly beautiful round bucket, which I already cut, waiting for you guys, as so. And she cut so beautifully, the back is flat. So I'm gonna take this piece of wood and I'm going to adhere this staghorn onto this piece of wood, and she's gonna be a beauty. And I'll show you my other one that I have that's a fatty. These grow beautiful. These are like air plants. They do not need a lot of dirt. They just need something to scab to. You see this little skin in here? It's like a scab skin, and that starts holding on to everything. So my plan is to take this piece onto this piece of wood. I got my free piece of wood at Home Depot in the scrap department. And what I'm going to do with this piece of wood is I'm gonna take this green spray can and I'm gonna spray her because she'll look so much prettier than this. That doesn't really look like anything naturey. I love any color that looks like it grows in nature. This is not a color that grows in nature. So I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna adhere that. You guys can watch me do it, and then you can do your own because it's lovely, and you have to see mine that's hanging to really understand how juicy and important it looks when it's hanging. Okay, first part of the project will be to spray paint my piece of wood. Okay. Taking my piece of free wood, slamming it down on there, shaking up my spray paint, and just gonna wipe it off a little. I'm afraid of splinters like crazy. It'll be so much prettier in green than it would be in this wood. I like anything that has to do with nature. Green, could have been brown, but not this color, because nothing in nature grows this color. Let me get the sides. You don't really have to get the back because we're gonna hang it there. I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit so we don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect because literally in due time, the scab of this will cover that. This should take 2 minutes to dry. Meet you back here in 2 minutes, folks. Wait, I'm just gonna get the sides too. Boom. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody knows that a staghorn fern is an epiphyte. Epiphytes are like orchids, things that are air plants. They're considered air plant. So we are going to take this epiphyte, and when you work with epiphytes, the best medium to use, because they don't really need dirt, is sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss is what they use. It holds and retains water, and they use it like on baskets and things like that. You can put seeds inside and make a clump to them. So how I use my sphagnum moss is yesterday I put it in this bucket right here, and it sits overnight because the more water it gets on it, the better it is. I never do this without these gloves on because there's something in this stuff that makes you itch like crazy, and it burns your hands too. So I always use these murderously blue gloves, and that's what I'm gonna do today. You see, it's all pliable, it's all funky. I take out some of these big ones, but I just make it like that, and then this is the stuff, and before I use it, I just pinch it out and I'll use it. I'll show you how, but see, I get it going. So this is an overnight activity with the sphagnum moss. Okay, so that's gonna take a minute. In the meantime, I want you to look at my other one that's over here, because this is what we'll have to look forward to. So we did this one on this wood. This is probably like 3 years old already. And if you can look up in here, you can see where the scab is starting to grow onto the wood. And when you can look at it, you can see this is the new scabs coming, and over time they start turning brown. First they're green and then they're brown, kind of like we are. Our hair starts turning gray as we get older. Same story with this. So this, as you can see up in here, is starting to come over. Look at that. That is like the skin starting to come over this thing. It will literally cover my whole gate if I let it. I kind of want to let it too. But how cool is that? Look at this stuff. It's like so funky, and so you have to be gentle on it because it's truly like living skin. Look at that. That's so crazy good. Love these things. Okay, so that's the end all. Okay, so here is my green wood. Doesn't that look so much better and juicier? And look how pretty it looks next to this green as opposed to that. So my green's ready because we're gonna hang this from this way so you won't even see it. Nor will you see that little piece that says trash on the top of it, because one man's trash is another man's frame. Okay, we are going to take this piece of wood and this staghorn and connect them together like so. So we have all the tools that we're going to need. We have wire in different varying degrees and monofilament, which is clear, but I don't know if it's going to be strong enough actually. So I feel like we're going to start with the wire stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to just put this, well, I'm going to take a little of this, squeeze the water out of it, and I'm going to use it on the back of this staghorn like so. So it's not just kissing the green, it has this moss. This will retain water too. So I'm going to take this squeezed out piece of sphagnum. I'm going to put it on the back of my staghorn like so. And then I'm going to take this whole story, put it down like that, and connect it using wire. So for this at this time, I'm going to take off these gloves right now because I can't use both. I can't do gloves and do finite work, and I can't use sphagnum without them. So I can save them to use them again. As you know, my hands are never that extraordinary anyway, but I don't want them to be burning and itching. Okay, I'm going to take my cutters. I'm going to do a few pieces of this, like this length. I'm going to start with it right like this. And I'm just going to go starting with this one first and make it in the back here tight. As tight as I possibly can. Right, so there's one piece. We can cut it after we're done, but at least now it's semi on there. I'm going to take two, I'm going to do it with two pieces. Then I'm going to put my gloves back on. No glove, no love. No self-love at least. I'm going to use one more piece like so. Cut that. Do another one right here. Same thing. Turn it on its side. And connect it. So I got two pieces back here. You see this? I'm going to tighten them up again, but at least they're kind of in place now. If you are working with somebody else, it's a little easier to have somebody hold it for you, or at least hold their hand like you're tying. But at least that's on now. You see how that's on now? So this is connected like so. I'm going to take some of the sphagnum moss that I have, put these glovers back on. Got my glovers on. My glover. No glover, no lover. All right. And that way I can use this itchy ass moss by stiffing it all in there. Take a few more pieces from the bottom where it's like kind of shredded up good. See that? I squeeze the water out of it and I stuff. I'm going to stuff all around here. You won't even see the dirt That's the whole idea. Stuff another one. I'm taking out these long hairies that nobody wants. Stuff it in here too. I can always use some more. So this is going to keep my little bit of root ball that I have there wet. See that? This is all going to be in here. There's that one. So the whole ball will be covered with sphagnum. That way the water, when I want to water it, I can just water the sphagnum. I can tighten these up too as soon as I get it in here like so. Feels like raffia is in here. Oopie, sorry.
Who's raffia?
You know who he is? Oh, it's a kind of ribbon made out of like straw.
Oh,
Raffia.
Gotcha.
No, there's no real raffia in here. Saint Raffia. Saint Staghorn. Okay, you see I'm just going to do the bottom a little bit too. I need another little piece of probably, what do you call it, wire, just to hold on this. But I'm going to put it in here. So as you can see, I've just created a basket around my staghorn. She's a flippin' beauty. Okay, I'm going to use some more. This time I'm going to go with a thinner wire. Take these off again. My no love, no glove. And I'm going to go in a few directions with this thinner gauged wire. I'm going to make it long enough so I can go around a few times. Hold on. Take it kind of big. This big piece right here. I'm going to just start with it here so I make sure it can go behind. And I'm going to go. So I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see that I'm just going to connect it a little right here. So I'll make a little loop on this one right here. Then I can pull it tight. So this piece is here. I'm going to go around here. And in time, you won't even see these things. I'm going to just connect all of these to each other. It's kind of messy in the back. The good news is nobody sees the back. I had hair like that. I used to always blow dry the crap out of the front, and the back was such a disaster, but I never saw it, so who cares? That was my thinking. Okay, I'm going to tighten this one up because it's already gotten loose. So there's a little bit of fine tuning in the back here, which is a little easier when somebody can help you, but it's doable. Make it as tight as I possibly can at this red hot moment, which isn't tight enough. I'm gonna just twist it, twisted. Sister, there's one. Okay, this should be much better. Look at that, right? And when we hang her, I'm gonna do her a little bit tighter in there. And actually, I feel like I might pull out a few of the backs. I'm going to put one here too, just to really hold it up. But do you see how it's on? So, hanging like a super glue. You see that? She's on and she's a beauty. I might not have gotten that too quick, but she's there.
Oh, looks good.
Right?
Yeah, it's cool.
We're going to do a few more of these, and then this is going to be my gift to Zach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm taking a little bit more of this, squeezing it out, putting it underneath here like so, and then I'm going to pull this and tie this underneath here. So I took a bunch of different wires, some stronger than others, and I just kept wrapping the ball, the root ball. You know what? I think I'm going to do one more piece, and I'm going to hold the, I call them feathers, but it's actually the leaves. Just going to take the back ones, so it's really on there. You can see where I'm going in. I'm not connected to the root ball. I'm connected to the plant now. And I'm going to take this side one out. And I'm gonna just take those. I'm gonna go on its back like so. We can trim up the back because we're gonna hang it, so we wanna make sure it's nice and flat back there. But you see now it's really on, and you can barely tell that it's so stuck. So now the top is connected, the middle's connected, and the bottom is connected. So this thing is on, I mean seriously on. And the feathers and leaves are up in here. And it makes a fabulous little handy dandy carrying thing too. And then when we're gonna cut all this just to trim it up in the back because we're gonna hang it from here and we want this to be flat, but at least we can tighten it a little as we go. But that is how you hang an epiphyte. And you are guaranteed that this will turn into, well, if you take good care of it, meaning not in direct sun, watering the root ball. You do not need to water the feathers. You need to water the root ball. You can either use a spray bottle, but mine has floor cleaner in it, so we're not doing that. And you can just spray the root ball. Or you can take some water and pour it into here, like that. That is how you care for your epiphyte. You do not need to get any of this wet up in here. You just need to get the root ball. She's so lovely. Look at these leaves. And then they get these like antlers. That's why they call it a staghorn, by the way, because of the antlers, like a stag. Yeah, here's an antler. Look at that. And they have veins in them, veiny antlers. Ain't nothing like a veiny antler. Sweet. Okay, so this finished product is so lovely. Look at her. So I want anyone who's going to try to do this, remember, you can do this with any epiphyte. So that is a staghorn fern, orchids. Those are plants that do not need dirt. Tillandsia is another plant that doesn't need any dirt, and you can connect that onto a piece of wood as well. So if anyone will do this project at home, which I hope you will, that you'll send me a fabulous picture on Instagram or to me, however you want to, and we can discuss it like a good book club. We'll have a good staghorn club, or we can have an epiphyte club. But you can see how easy it really is to do. With a minimal amount of work, you get maximum goodness. And there you have it. So share yours with me, and I'll share mine with you. Thank you. Keep on coming back.